Hello my fellow freedom builders and welcome back to the channel. Today is yet another video with some swing trading candidates that I have made for you for a little inspiration here. Remember always to do your own research and so on. These are primarily focused on technical analysis, but we will also have a little look down into the fundamentals just to make sure that we are not buying complete garbage. So that said, let's get straight to it. Also, these times have been quite volatile and there are several days where I have had some very good candidates, but I have simply not taken them because the markets were so up and down due to the interest speculations and so on. But it seems to me like there is some bullish movement on its way back into the market. The Nasdaq has gone up quite nicely and so on. So I have 6 candidates for you today and they are a bit widespread. They are all good swing trading setups and some of you have asked me if I ever add to a trade. And normally I don't, but I'll try and give you some examples here today so you can see how you could do it if you wanted to. So what I'm looking for, as you know, is I'm looking for some swings on the 20 SMA here on the daily chart, and I do like these swings would be with some volume a bit above normal. Normally when I invest I also look at the weekly chart over here, and that one is, I also look at it at the swing trades, but not so much. If it is in a downtrend or if there is some very large resistance area just above the price, I might have a look at it, but I don't look far back. I mainly look at the daily chart. Also, these are meant for swing trades, meaning that it could be a few days, it could be a few weeks, but some of my swing trades actually ends up lasting months and months, and that is why, of course, it is good to have someone that is quite okay on the fundamental side. So these are, even though all of them are not that strong fundamentally, they are okay on that front, and they are kind of picked so that they might be able to last for a bit longer time than just a few days. Let's get straight to it. The first one is DCP Midstream here. As you can see on the weekly trend here, or weekly chart, it is trending quite nicely here. And we have had some ups and downs. Let's just have the RSI. As you can see, it is bouncing nicely above the 50 line, as I do like to see it. I can see that the up days here are more green than red. And then yesterday we had a very nice bounce off the 20 SMA here with some good volume in it. So the DCP midstream, and midstream suggests that this is some sort of energy provider. There's the upstream, they are producing the energy, the oil, gas, whatever they're taking off the ground. There's a downstream, they are selling and marketing the products, and the midstream are normally either on ships or in pipes. They are transporting it. So the DCP midstream here, as you can see, they have a good stock rank in Stockopedia. I'll link to both TradingView and Stockopedia below. That is my two main tools here in my analysis work. As you can see, just quickly at the fundamentals, a PEG ratio at 0.4 is very nice, meaning that we are not paying too much for future growth here. There's some very nice earnings per share growth here. When we look down here, we can see that it has been a bit up and down, but lately it has stabilized also at the estimates here. We can see that the free cash flow has gone up nicely. Working capital is negative, and that of course is not good, and net debt is quite high. That is of course not that much of a problem necessarily when we can see that they can easily pay the interest on their short-term debt anyway. When we're looking at the analysts, they are saying mainly buy here. So overall, it is a fair candidate. There's nothing really concerning here, so I wouldn't take it as a swing. Then maybe if it swings up and I make some money and I can see that it's still doing fine, I might add to the trade later. But DCP midstream, you can have it on your candidate list and then pick your own way of analyzing stock and see if it is something for you. Next one on the list is the APG here, the API Group Corporation. As you can see, the same, a good trending stock on the weekly chart. Here, bouncing on the 50, bouncing a bit higher between the 20 and 50, and here again bouncing just between the 20 and the 50, and a very good day yesterday here. Volume not amazing. We have had a couple of red days here, but before that the rise in price was with very high volume, so I think the volume is okay. I would like to see maybe today or tomorrow some buying pressure upwards here, where we saw an even higher volume here. When we're looking at here in the Stockopedia, we have the APG here. As you can see, stock rank at 75, that is absolutely decent. The PEG ratio is a bit above the 2 that I normally like to see, but it is the below 2 is more when I'm looking for long-term investments. So 2.9 is acceptable for a swing trade, definitely. The earnings per share has been a bit in a slump, but in estimates for 20 and 21, it looks good again. The free cash flow is exploding. We have some very nice working capital here and some decent debt. We can see that the interest coverage is negative, and that is of course because they are losing a bit of money, but that will be back to normal again if the estimates are met here. You can see that the analysts are very thrilled about it, up towards the strong buy here, so nothing really to worry about here. APG here, have it on your candidate list. Next one is Piper Sandler Companies. I've actually had a look at that before. Down here, I think I had it in one of my videos actually, around the 75 mark here, saying I thought there was some upside potential to it. That was, I was a bit above, it was around here, around 86 here, and it went very much up indeed. Now, it took a turn down here, and this was the entire GameStop scenario here, where the market got very scared. But then it shot straight up again, had a bit of a sideways movement, and then yesterday some very good movement upwards with some good volume and RSI right in place here. We're still having a good uptrend on the weekly chart, so the Piper Sandler here, definitely one I will be looking for. When we're looking at it here in Stockopedia, they have pretty much all stocks here with all the numbers. You can see a 98 on the stock rank. That is absolutely amazing. And they, normally when I pick these stocks, they tend to not have that high of a value score. But actually here they estimate that they have a 75 out of 100 in value score. That is very nice. Now, again, the PEG ratio is not shown. And the reason for that is pretty much that they are expecting in 21 to have a bit of a negative here in the earnings per share growth. But otherwise, it actually looks quite nice, I think. So there's nothing to worry about here. And that's the main thing. We're looking for stocks where we don't have to worry about them tipping over and going bankrupt when we're in the middle of the swing trade. Quite nice free cash flow here. It is varying a lot from year to year, but overall positive. Working capital here is not, and we have a net debt that is negative. That's fine enough. And yeah, health trend, that's Petrosky at 6, and we have some analysts here at around a buy. So nothing to worry about here as well. Piper Sandler also on my list of candidates. All right, 3 candidates left. And one of them is it G3 or GIII? I'm not even sure, but it is this, I call it G3 Apparel Group. Then you might correct me in the comment section if I'm completely off. Nice upwards trend on a weekly chart here, bouncing nicely off the 20 SMA, and this one actually seems almost to be making this what I'm calling my favorite setup. It is not completely there, but as you can see, it is as if the sellers are coming in at the same point every time, and the buyers are getting more and more eager to buy. And if we can have a good buying day here, good long green candle here today or tomorrow with some good volume, then I think this is a very, very nice candidate to have. We can see it is bouncing nicely on the RSI, way above the 50 line. So on the technical part, this looks extremely nice. Here in Stockopedia, we have a 98 again in the stock rank, extremely good. 0.2 in the PEG ratio, meaning that even though the PE ratio is low at 14 here, they're expecting an earnings per share growth at 359.8% here, which is kind of extreme. So you can see price to book value 1.12. It actually has a value score at 92. I picked some good value stuff today, I think. When we're looking at the earnings per share, has been going down a bit, but estimated to go up again in 22, so that is okay. Free cash flow is exploding. We can see the Petrovsky score at 7, very nice. We can see down here working capital going up nicely. Net debt is stable. Interest coverage in the low end, but absolutely acceptable. This is one of my favorites for picking for my swing trading portfolio, my test that I make an update on every once per month. I've been selling a bit out lately. I've gotten some sell signals, so this one could definitely be one of the stocks that I added to that portfolio. 2 stocks left, and the next one here is NexTier Oilfield Solution. I have had many candidates coming up here in the oil sector, and that is of course because of the rising oil price. Let's see on Thursday where the OPEC Plus will be meeting. They might be coming out with a message about them producing more oil. They took a reduction of 7 million barrels per day, I think it was earlier or late last year. So they might be taking a bit of that back and actually start producing between 1.5 million barrels extra per day, and that could have put a bit of a pressure on the oil related stocks. But this one is a very good setup here. You can see we have the tops here. It is breaking up. Let's me just draw this one here. Breaking up here, just having a couple of days with a bit of a breather here, and then yesterday moving up. Again, I would like to see a day with a bit more volume here, but overall it is looking very good. When we look at it in Stockopedia here, we have it here. Let's see. 53, it's in the low end here. It's not one of my favorites on the fundamental part here, not at all. And you can also see that it is one of these companies that have been burning off money in with the negative earnings per share. Now, saying that, it could still be an okay swing trade, knowing that the oil price is going up and is likely to at least stay up there somewhere, because the world is getting vaccinated, and I guess there'll be more and more financial, economical activity. So you should not completely look away from this one, but it is one of the stocks that it's not on the top of my list, if I should say. So you can see here, free cash flow has been up, but in 2020 it is negative. The net debt has been going down, so on. So it is not a strong candidate, but you could look at it for some swings. Now, looking at the weekly chart here, I might actually, if I were to take a trade here, I might be looking at this line here and maybe looking for a bit of a swing towards this one and then bouncing off. Also seeing if the RSI could keep above the 50 line here. That is how I would trade that one. The last one today is the BXG, Blue Green Vacation Corp here. As you can see, it has been going down strongly, but what I'm looking for here is that we have a slowing rate of drop in the price in the bottoms here. You can also see it here. The prices are not falling quite as much. You can start to see that the tops are getting more and more turning upwards here, and as the bottoms as well. So right now we actually have a very long stretch turn situation here. And then looking at the daily chart, where we can see we have a very large bounce up with the earnings here yesterday, and the RSI is looking fine. There's a lot of volume, so look at this as a swing trade that might be able to produce some profits upwards from here. Now, just as the last stock over here, BXG coming up, hopefully 86 at stock rank, absolutely splendid. 0.2 at the PEG ratio, nothing to say there. Negatively, earnings per share, it has been going down a bit, but stabilized in 19 and over 21 here. It has been a lot higher back in 14 to 18, but at least it is kind of stable right now. Free cash flow also stable. And let's see, net debt is stable, and working capital, it might have be something to do with the structure of the company that it is at 0 here. So also no real warning signs here. We did have a buy towards strong buy 3 months ago, and now it is down at a hold here. But that is more long-term analyst. I'm actually saying this is a very good turning situation, this one on the weekly chart, and then picking them, bouncing off the 20 SMA with some good volume. That is what I like to see. That's all for today. I won't take any more of your time. Remember to subscribe, hit the like and bell notification, all that stuff beneath the video, and take care of yourself and your money out there. Bye for now.